Imagine if you could hear each other's thoughts. My name is Johanna Hoof, and this is my co-founder Leni Andronicos. We are the co-founders of Logcast.
Imagine if you could make an idea, a memory, or a thought live forever. Uncensored, immutable, time-stamped by you forever. Would you do it? Tonight, we will do just that. We call these NFMs, or non-fungible memories. I'm not going to tell you too much about that. I'll let Johanna tell you a bit later on. But this is an event concept that we developed called House of Minds. It's a way to collect the most brilliant minds in the world to record an idea, a memory, or a thought. But we'll tell you a little bit more about NFMs later on.
We're building a new ecosystem. We're building the way to communicate the way we're supposed to, through language. So please look here. We built a platform to just record your thoughts, your ideas and experiences through voice. And you can also log on to people you're inspired by and hear their minds. You can actually also earn money on your thoughts. We have launched Logcast about a year ago, and we are now present in over 50 countries around the world, and all of them are connected by talking. Why is this epic? It's because language is a very imperfect signal through your brain. And writing and reading is very polished. This is very scientific, so we can go back a bit. We actually did a study about this because we are very excited about this topic. So we engaged Berghs and KTH for a case study where we were investigating this, like how are we processing text and speech, and how are this affecting us? And one of our key findings was that spoken audio, that is something that connects us much more meaningful and deep. I think most of us, if we use the biggest tech platforms today, we are typing and we are also looking visually. And then we have lost the spoken words where we hear, in our respiratory system, we hear emotions, body mass, we hear personality, and that's lost. It's not.
100,000 years ago, humans actually became the first animals to learn how to think complex thoughts, to make decisions, to even make long-term plans with each other. Like the little brain, I think I have a great, very beautiful illustration to share with you. Who here reads Wait But Why? Anyone? Great site, please check it out, waitbutwhy.com, by a prolific author. His name is Tim. Tim actually inspires a lot of Johanna's and I's thinking. So this is an image from one of his blogs about Neuralink. We'll talk a little bit that later also. But 100,000 years ago, humans began to learn how to communicate with each other. Suddenly they decided, there's actually a way that I can communicate what this thing here is in front of me, a rock. The sound rock is not the rock itself, but is a symbol for me to be able to communicate with other people. 50,000 years later, they actually were able to use language to create emotions and experiences and relationships with friends and family and other people. And that's where you actually started to see these small communities and villages coming together. By 10,000 BC, it's when cities started to form. I want to show you a short diagram also, which is so interesting, about the acceleration and innovation of knowledge. This is kind of the trajectory that was happening before humans had invented language. You can see it's very incremental, slowly over time, but look what happens when they invented language. It scaled. We started to see the fastest innovation cycles that the human species had ever seen. And this is pretty powerful, because what if we, as the species, discovered a way to start to share our ideas, our knowledge, and our memories more frictionally and faster with each other? There's actually Metcalfe's law. Who here is familiar with Metcalfe's law? Anyone has studied this maybe here? Nice. Good. Metcalfe's law says the value of telecommunications network is proportional to the amount of users in the system. This is also very relevant to people, right? If two of us have a conversation, Johanna and I, we have 2 conversation threads. If me, Johanna, Adam over here, and maybe Simon in the back had a conversation, we suddenly have 6 conversation threads. Anyone have an idea of how many conversation threads there are when you have 20 people? There's over 1 million. Imagine what this does to society and how we can start to scale innovation. So who here knows about Neuralink? Oh wait, I have a better question. Who here has a Neuralink implanted? I think this time next year it's going to be a very different story here, so I'm looking forward to coming back again next year. But Neuralink is a brain-to-brain interface. It was developed by our dear friends who we've not met yet, but we know we will be the best of friends. Elon Musk and his brilliant team, who've actually developed a new brain-to-brain interface where we as humans can connect with each other without speaking, without writing, through our thoughts only. This is going to inspire an entire generation of new innovation. But what concerns us as founders most is how can we protect the ownership of our ideas? Who here is, a creative? Most of you are creatives, right? Art directors, copywriters. I'd be interested to speak to you maybe after this about how you protect your ideas. This is going to be amazing when we can start sharing, but imagine if your peer could take your idea from you. Is it going to be voluntary? Or you're going to have to press a kind of a signal to make sure your idea is able to be shared. But there is something that has been developed over the last few years that can help protect this, which is blockchain. Blockchain, for those of you who don't know, I'm sure many of you are very familiar with it, but is a way for you to be able to track ideas, to track transactions. It's become very well used in decentralized finance, but there are so many other applications that we can use this in real life. And Johanna and I believe that thoughts are very needed. Imagine what happens when we all are connected with our brains. The innovation is going to grow so fast, this collective consciousness that we call it. But actually by putting your ideas, your memories, your thoughts on chain allows you to keep ownership over them. You decide where you share them, how you share them, even how you make money on them. Yes.
So as you can hear, we got pretty obsessed with the opportunity of blockchain, NFTs, Web3, like privately. We got obsessed and made it as our hobby. But from the beginning, our first idea about Logcast was how can we bring power back to creators? And we suddenly realized how blockchain and NFTs could actually be our instrument to make this
possible.
But now, if you don't have a MetaMask, you don't understand how blockchain technology works, it's pretty hard to be in that rabbit hole, so to speak. We want to bring this to the mass market. We don't care that our creators doesn't need to know the technology at all. We just want everyone to understand that when you own something, you have full control of it, you can exchange value, and it's yours to own. So this is where we are today. We build a Logcast wallet, meaning you can just sign up with your phone number, email, and that's your wallet. There's a whole blockchain infrastructure behind that, but what it means is that you own your digital entity, and you can record a thought, and you mint it in the app, and you store it in your profile, and you can own and buy people's experiences. It's just epic, and it's just tilt the power from big social tech back to creators, and that's very cool. And this is what we want to try out today. We have built this now. We're testing it with some of our founding creators, but we are launching this June 20 in New York. Leni, tell us more about that.
We are going to be unveiling our NFM protocol at NFT NYC, which is one of the biggest kind of crypto NFT conferences in the world. And we are doing that through a collection of NFMs called House of Minds. We are bringing together 100 of the most prolific minds in the world, entrepreneurs, philosophers, creatives, and each of them will actually record one thought that they want to live forever, one idea, one memory. Imagine if you could leave a memory for yourself to listen back to in 1,000 years. Johanna and I are actually big believers in life longevity, so we think that you will actually be able to go back and listen to this in 1,000 years. So we would like to invite 2 of you to come up here and record an NFM to actually be part of this House of Minds launch collection. There'll only be 100 thoughts in the world minted for the very first time. And what better way to do it in Stockholm, right? These people, these creatives in this room today, I believe will change the world. So have a little bit of a think about, if we pull you up on stage, what idea, statement, or memory you would want to mint to live forever. And it's also, once it's on chain, it's immutable. No one can censor it, not me, not Satoshi Nakamoto. No one can mute it, so it's really going to live forever. Should we?
Yeah, let's get going.
Yeah.
Either if someone want to raise your hand and be part of it.
Come on, let's go.
Great. Okay, so either you can record a statement, a quote, an experience, just something that you want to share for their collective intelligence and live forever, okay?
Okay.
So it could be a sentence or a few.
Okay.
Ready?
Give me 2 seconds. Okay. The way we use language structures the way we view the world. So if we're conscious about the language we use, we can change how we view the world.
Prolific. Wow. Game changer.
That's why he's moderating tonight. That's so true. Humans are scripted by media, like code script computers. That's also interesting to think about. Be very conscious of the media you consume. Okay.
Who's going next, kids?
Person.
I have someone that I'm looking at that has been a very big part of this over the last couple of months. Adam? Come here, boss. Woo! What a legend this guy is. My fellow Aussie, how cool is it? Woo! Okay, my friend, are you ready? So it can be an idea, a statement, just a message to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, cool.
You got something? Let's go.
You're not as smart or as dumb as you think, and you also need to get Oatly on the way home.
Wow, also prolific.
Very deep. Wow.
Done.
Thank you.
And that's it. Those two are then instantly minted as NFMs. They're on chain, no one can remove them forever. People in thousands or hundreds of years will be able to listen back to these moments in time.
And if it doesn't click for you now, think about this. Everything we put up right now on Instagram, most platforms actually, they own your content. And maybe you don't care, but we own everything in our physical world and we spend so much time online. So why shouldn't we own at least our thoughts online? And this is possible now. So we invite you to own your mind and trade your thoughts, and see you on Logcast.
See you in the metaverse.